Well, with kids getting ready to go back to school, many preschoolers are heading to class for the first time. And these little learners have so many tools. A lot of them are digital, but are they actually helping? A new study from Michigan State University says that old school hands-on activities like writing out your letters and pointing out the words are the best way to boost early reading skills. Surprisingly, kids who spent more time on digital educational games actually scored lower on reading tests. Joining us this morning to talk about this is one of the folks from Michigan State, the professor and researcher behind the study. Lori Skibbe is here. Lori, thank you so much for joining us. It makes a lot of sense. It seems like a common sense thing, but can you kind of walk us through the whys? Why is having that pencil and paper in my hand, writing and touching words so much more than just tapping a screen?
Well, we were really interested in how parents can support children's early learning because we know that what children bring into kindergarten will kind of set the stage for how well they do academically long term. And so we surveyed over 1,000 parents and we asked them about things they did, such as writing letters with their children, encouraging children to write their names, as well as how many games they played with children, and most of those were probably digital. And what we found is that parents who actively supported their children's, particularly print skills, by helping with those writing activities and understanding how sounds correspond to their letters and letter names, had children with better skills. And so what I think most families use digital media in some way, right? So children are watching YouTube, they're watching other types of educational materials, they are playing some games. And I don't want to say that we need to eliminate that entirely. Most families are doing this and it's not going to go away. However, we don't know the quality of those games, and also children are often doing them independently. And so I think our work suggests that digital media cannot replace these meaningful interactions with parents, and that parents can really support children learning in a way that a computer can't.
You know, that makes perfect sense because even just sitting there to walk your child through it is much more meaningful, much more impactful than a little thing on the screen saying, "Yay, you did it."
Right, that's exactly true. And so there is not our research, but other research that suggests that children will learn more from those educational programs if they have some support from a caregiver. We didn't ask that specifically, but it is important for parents to really have a hands-on approach with their children. We can't replace parents and teachers with computers.
Yeah, you had mentioned in the parts of the study there that the kids who use the digital devices scored less on the assessments. Can you kind of go through some of the numbers on what the discrepancies are?
So this was what we would call a correlational study. So we don't know the cause, right? So it could be that parents were having children use more digital games if they saw that children were struggling with concepts. So we don't know that using more digital games made children learn less. I think that goes beyond what I can say. The differences were not large, but they were significant and meaningful.
Gotcha. Okay. Lori Skibbe, thank you so much for your time. This is really eye-opening. I hope a lot of parents kind of take this to heart, recognizing that, you know, the iPads are there. They're a tool and it's something to use, but nothing beats that one-to-one pencil and paper and a good pat on the back from mom or dad or grandma and grandpa.
And it's fun, right?
Yeah.
Like you want to interact with your children, and children enjoy doing these things with someone who loves them.
Yeah. Okay. Lori, thank you so much for your time today.